From Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Wakers, pearls, and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance of West resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables every set. To form the Venus nightly, never free from the deck. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in disguise. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the scrubble. Turned the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. To reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan, now there's crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tenth that was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined. Where was next? Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right, all right, all right. Here it is, and here we are. This is Under the Groove Podcast. I want to send a shout out to everybody, and hey, just let you know, man, it is a grand rising. I want to extend that to everybody. Say, hey, grand rising, a new day, new opportunity to get something done. To make some of yourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's what the opportunity is presented to you for. It's a blessing, to say the least. We're here. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that everyone is jumping up in this Royal Group Congregation chat line that we got going on. What it do, Brother James? This is Under the Groove Podcast, man, where we see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. Everything here is above board. We keep it straight and solid. This is where we focus on the focus in order to get down with the get down. So let's get down with it, y'all. First, I want to say before I get into the comments or the chats, the Royal Group Congregation comments and everything, I did start the new channel, All Things Politics. I was up to 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, man, trying to get the content together and everything, man. I'm telling you, man, it was a lot, to say the least, all right? But that was done. I did do something, but I didn't like it. After I looked at it this morning on the job. I was at work and I'm looking at it. I said, no, that ain't, I got to do better for the people. So I'm not going to drop that tonight. I'm going to create some more stuff and then we'll drop it tomorrow. The channel, the link is at All Things Politics 26. And man, go and subscribe right now. That's, to the RGC, man. And those and any of you who are listening, not a part of this Get Down, but you are, whether you know it or not, go and subscribe, man, to that Get Down. All Things Politics. The link is at All Things Politics 26. Like I say, tomorrow we will have content, a lot of content, hopefully. Like I said, I wasn't satisfied with it. So I kept my word. I did establish the channel. The channel is up and running, except for there's no content just yet. All right. It's there, but subscribe, man, nonetheless. All right. It will be dropping tomorrow. That being said, again, I'm blessed to be here and you are as well. So welcome everybody. Let's get down with this Get Down. I wanted to start. Well, that's the segue, the new channel. Being that the new channel is for the purpose of talking politics, I want to talk about politics to an extent. All right. I saw something today. Well, first, there's Trump and everything that's going on with Trump, man. This stuff is getting crazier by the day. I'm telling y'all, man, we have to get ready. We have to get ready because there's no telling how this stuff is going to fall, where it's going to fall. who it's going to hit while it's coming down. You know what I mean? So let's get ready for that. The politics that I want to talk about are the same politics that affect our everyday lives. For any of you guys that think that politics do not concern you, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Every aspect of your life right now involves or concerns politics. Every aspect. If you have a job, politics are involved. If the water you drinking is clean or dirty, that's politics. The food is GMO and, organic or whatever, it's politics. All right. What's going on in society? Politics. What's going on in the government? Politics. The police, politics. Finances or economics, all politics. Everything, even relationships on a personal level are based upon certain politics. Just think about that. All right. I just, I don't know, man. I try not to be overbearing. I try not to just, go on and on to break it down about what I think is relevant. I like to know what the people think is relevant. And this is one of the reasons for the new channel, All Things Politics. It's for the people to get involved. Come on, man, into comments, man, and say, hey, let's discuss this, that, or the third. Let's, put that out there. I would like to see this, based upon whatever it is affecting you politically. So come on in here, man, and let's make this thing what it needs to be. Again, politics affects every aspect of our lives. Every aspect. Don't think that it doesn't, because it does. And you don't have to take that from me. Sit back, man, and really analyze what's going on in the world. I had a comment from somebody. It's a brother, I'm sure, that's been in our comments before and Under the Groove. It was something to the effect, as a matter of fact, hold on, let me go read that, because I think it's relevant. I think it's relevant, because I do have a response for that, not a reaction, but a response in terms of what he said. It wasn't disrespectful, so I didn't take it as such. Excuse me. Oh, here we go. 1 second, bear with me, y'all. No, that's not the one. Oh my God, I just started that shit again. There you go. At least I think that is. Anyway, the gist of it was, we were talking about, if anyone can recall, we were talking about the presidency, but in particular, we were discussing Obama, because it came up briefly. What did he do for us? And I made a statement to the effect that he didn't do anything for us, So the brother's name, and in all due respect, I want you to know, brother, in turn, I'm not going to give you his name, but anyway, he said the U.S. is the U.S., not a dictatorship, brother. It may be after Trump get finished, but it's only so much Obama could have done. He would have had to have gotten congressional approval, etc. But I'm sure you're aware of that. You're an intelligent brother, unless y'all just talking about his effort he could have put in. He couldn't turn into Marcus Garvey up in there. White folks would have got him out of there so fast. True. That's true. Not to an extent, but that's true. My response to him was this, he said, that's true. I said, that's true. They would have lynched him on the White House lawn. All right. However, he could have, leaving office, dropped all kinds of executive orders that could have at least shown the people, us, that he truly cared, but he didn't. He didn't do that. All right. I know he did some type of executive order or help pass a bill that protect Asians. Probably there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But here we are. There's no one more denigrated, persecuted, hated than us. He's supposed to be one of us. How did he not see this or know that even going out of office after 8 years, that he could have done something or left something in place for the people? He didn't do that. He did not do that. What he was good at, though, was convincing the people that he was one of us the whole time. Get up in church, man, and blow some Al Green for us, take us back, made us feel good. He did all that, talked a little smack, but he knew how far to go when he was talking smack. So I give you that. That being said, leaving office, he could have said, hey, man, I'm finna pass executive order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these executive orders will address the plight, the societal plight, the financial economic plight, the political plight of Black people in this country. And this is not nothing new, but the plight that these people, our people, my people, have been facing for hundreds of years in this country. He didn't do that. He didn't do that, So just based on that, on the face of that, I say he wasn't about the people. He got the popular vote. The electoral colleges said, okay, let's put him in there and make it seem like, and this is my opinion, make it seem like they got somebody in there. Finally, had us just go along with this BS for 8 more years. Had us eating that shit up for 8 more years. We got nothing out of that. Nothing out of a 2-term president. We got nothing as a people. Nothing. Now think about this. Kamala Harris said, she was asked on some nighttime program, if you get in office, what are you going to do for Black people? I don't know if any of you guys remember that. I watched it. I remember it. She said nothing. Nothing. That's just the gist of it in terms of presidents and in terms of presidents dealing with us or helping us, to achieve anything, to empower us, to help, give us wait a minute, let me rephrase, not give us nothing, but take the roadblocks out of the way. Remove these things or those restrictive political decrees that a lot of us don't really know nothing about out of the way so that we can go on and do what we're going to do. She is no different than Obama in that respect. Nothing. Did absolutely nothing for the people, his people. I can't speak to her in terms of her ethnicity because she said one thing, but then says another, depending on who she's around. So I'm not even, I'm not going to address that. But Obama, beautiful Michelle, beautiful Black sister. They both had us fooled, tell you the truth. They both had us fooled. But, the reality is he did nothing for the people, man. It was just the fact that it was a Black man in office, in the highest seat in the land, the figurehead of the corporation, this business that is ran every day, man, that utilizes everybody that work for the corporation, because we all work for the corporation. Don't think that we don't. Whether we have a job that's above board or we have a job that's below board, we all pay tax. We all pay into this system in some form or fashion, one way or another. But we got nothing for, his 8 years in office. That's all I was saying. Now, if brothers and sisters want to disagree, put it in chat. What did he do for us? Specifically, us. Don't give me that Martin Luther King spiel, when Kim Abernathy and Jesse supposed to have been not marching for civil rights for us, but then turn around and let everybody be involved in that that process, watered it down. And to this day, those protests, that rebellion, man, have other ethnic groups have reaped the benefits of that more than us to this day. to this day. And not only that, but everything that we want to say or we would we go out on a limb and say that they accomplished for us is being rescinded. DEI, affirmative action, so forth, so on. National museums and libraries being shut down unless they remove certain artifacts, historical Black artifacts from them. You won't get government funding. It's everything that supposedly was done for us is being taken away. And yet everything that was supposed to be done for us, we're the only ones who really aren't benefiting as a result of that. The only ones. So if it's anybody in the comments who has a different opinion, facts, not opinion, but facts in terms of what Obama did for his people, please put it in the comments. Let's read that. I will read it out loud. That being said, and then I can't help but think about Biden telling Black folks, you ain't Black if you don't vote for me. And Obama didn't come behind him and say, hey, man, that's wrong. Don't say that. That's an insult, So to me, it's just more of the same, man. It's more of the same, All right, so let's get into this. And like I say, I think tonight, man, tonight's theme should be about politics. The politics in our community. And that's another thing. What we see going on in our community, trust and know that's politics. That is politics as well. This thing been going on for a long time, y'all. For a long time. All right. Let me get into these comments, man. Again, let me send a shout out to my people, to our people. This is the Royal Group Congregation, and this is where we keep everything above board. Another shout out I want to send to my beloved one man, China man. Peace and blessings, homie. Do the damn thing. All right. We'll talk. You know what I'm saying? This is 2026, y'all. This is the year of accountability. Let's hold ourselves accountable. Let's do more than what we did last year, this year. Let's let it be known. Again, we say this: speak up, speak out, stand up, stand out, man. Stand out from the BS we know, man. Get outside the box, man. Let's make it happen. The only way it's gonna happen is if we do that. Ain't nobody else gonna do it for us. No one else is gonna do it for us. All right. That being said, let me get in these comments. Peace and blessings to everybody. No love lost, no disrespect to anyone who has a differing opinion. All right. That's just where it is. Okay, I see you, James, man. Brother James. Hey, man, peace and blessings to you and yours, man. You say, I like the other record a lot better. Which one? You mean the intro? Let me know. Let me know. And I came in late again tonight, you guys, and I apologize for that. Traffic is a B, but yeah, so it's the same one, man. Brother-in-law hooked that one up for me, and I really like it. In fact, I do like it as much as I like the previous one that the loved one, Roxy the Duchess did for us. Excuse me, but I think that's a good one. It says a lot if you listen to it. It's deep. It's deep. But let me know if I'm on the right page, man. James, you say I like the other record a lot better. Anyway, hope all is well with you, brother, and likewise. All right. Rakufu, what it do, homie? The homie on deck. Much respect. Likewise, and it's reciprocated, bro. Glad to see you here. Justin Sade, good to see you back, bro. What it is, man. It's us. I think what it is the fact that we don't recognize or realize when politics are being played against us. When we don't see what's we may see what's going on, but we may not know how to deal with what's going on. All right. That's what it is. Our lack of understanding in this world. This world is a political world, period, point blank. Very political. So I think that's what it is, brother. We got to get to the point where we know how to deal with whatever comes down the pipes at us, man. We're going to deal with it in such a fashion. Well, we're going to deal with it like no one else can. You know, that's just us. When we sink our teeth into something, man, we taking chunks out. We're going to, hey, man, we're going to do damage. That's what it should be. Us doing damage to a system, that is utterly against us, man. I don't care how we dice it up, slice it up, serve it up. The system is against us. And the system is political. All right. Queen Nzinga say, what to do, Royal Group Congregation? Happy to be here with you, kings and queens. B. All right. I imagine she want to say B1 equals blacks first. That's something we know her and the other sisters to do, as well as the brothers. So there that is. Where we at? James said, rest in peace to all the fallen gone, but not forgotten. That's another thing, man. We have to acknowledge that, man. For what reason did they leave, And a lot of them are not here, man. Just on some straight BS, y'all. They're gone, man, behind BS. Kings and queens, man, young brothers and old, man. Had the mindset, the education been different, man. Wow. You know what I mean? Just visualize that, man. Come to understand what we've lost. What we've lost. Not one set or the other, but us as a unit. We've lost a great deal, great many kings and queens, man. That potential, those gifts, talent is gone. All right? Yeah. Let's not forget, man. Let's not forget. Let's recall, let's remember, so that we can go forward, man, doing something positive in their name. Not anything vengeful, not anything hateful, but something positive and productive in their name, man. We have a lot of homeboys, man, from the community, from Hoover. Man, a lot of good brothers and sisters who are gone. Gone, but not forgotten. So if we're not forgetting who they were and what they meant to us, when we understood or understand what their talents was, their skills, their gifts, what they could have brought to the table, we need to push that memory, man. We need to represent for them. Represent for them, man, just in the knowledge that had they been getting what we're receiving now, wow. Them were warriors. They would push the line, man, for the people. That's what I think. So there, I appreciate that, James. You're going to say this is just a random question, bud, but did you ever low ride? What's your favorite rider? No, I never had a low. I don't like low riders. I was never into the low rider craze or phase. I had a Cutlass. I had a El Camino. I had those type of cars. You know what I mean, hooked up and shit, but not cut. No switches or nothing on them. So no, I just wasn't a low rider type of dude. You know what I mean, and a lot of loved ones had low riders. A lot of loved ones that I had relationships with in terms of friendships. A lot of my brothers had them, but it was just something that wasn't, to me, it didn't attract me like that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't attract me like that, and then I was, it just wasn't for me back then. Yep. Love and respect to the RGC. Appreciate that, James. Tahoni says, yes, Mumia Abdul Jamal is still alive. Real spit, man. Power's in the people, man. All right, Raymond Skull, man. 102, sending shots out to the Rays and yourself, your family, bro. Hope everything's everything and everyone is well. All right. You're going to say salute to you, bub, and your family. Hip all is well. Hope all is well for you. Peace and prosperity to the kings and queens in the Royal Group congregation. And we, again, man, we reciprocate that. We get that back to you, bro. Appreciate you in here tonight. All love and respect. James, I'll be honest, I don't care for politics. I never have. I ain't never voted in my life, but I do understand we got to take it upon ourselves to govern our own when the time comes. Odds always against us. That reminds me of something. I was checking out Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. And Corey was saying to this brother, voting is a scam, and it is. It is, And Anton's response or reply to that was not on the presidential level, but on the state level. It's not a scam, but it is. But it really is. See, we'll go to these polls and vote on the state level for governors, for mayors, city council people, people though, those positions, on their word that they would do something for us. And we all know 10 times out of 10 that never happens. So we got funding, and we got 50 billion, and we're gonna put it to the community and da 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 da. That's not what they do. That's not what they do. That money, it begins to get spread out to certain contractors, other businesses. It never goes to the community in terms of helping the community, whether it's education, whether it's economics, whether it's social programs, issues with what may have you. It's never that. It seems that the money, it never trickles down. It always ascends up. You know what I mean? Let me give you an example. Long Beach is talking about building some type of amphitheater. All right. Who knows the cost of that? And I ask that because who also knows the homeless rate in Long Beach? Who knows the addiction rate in Long Beach? You know what I mean? Who knows the domestic violence rate? You got all these issues going on, man, with the people in these communities and these politicians. This is what I'm telling you, it's sucker shit. I have to agree with Corey Holcomb. Voting and these politicians, they got us on sucker shit. They're going to take X amounts of billions. See, they might say, oh, it's going to cost 800 million to build it. By the time they're done, guess how much it's going to cost? Maybe 1.5 billion, maybe 2 billion. Where they getting that money from? Then they have to extract money from social programs and shit like that, or they tax the people to get this money, man. Where's this money going? I'm not a contractor. I don't profess to be one. But listen, man, y'all got to know it's a lot of grafting going on, man. All right. It's a lot of palm greasing. It's a whole lot of under the table dealings, man. That, come on, man. And that amphitheater, for whatever reason they think they need to build it, they have to build it. It's not going to serve the people. Whoever owns that building eventually will own that building. They're not going to say annually going to kick back 50 million to that community. Let's bring something to that community. Can we make buku money with this amphitheater over here next to the Queen Mary? But, I think my point is made, man, by saying, it's all a scam, man. They're willing to do that as opposed to willing to see that the people who are in need are supported or helped, who needs are met. This is not what they do. This is not what they do, man. Now, Corey was telling him, hey, man, state level, city level politicians, they crooked. It's all a scam. It's sucker shit. And I have to agree. I don't know who Anton Daniels is, in terms of, researching him, vetting this guy and what he's about. But the gist of it was he's a raccoon. Corey was saying, hey, man, you get up there and all you do is bash brothers. See, this is that YouTube stuff we see. Social media, well, all we see is brothers and sisters bashing each other. So here's another brother. And I don't think I'm wrong, but I surmise that he's a Republican or he supports the Republican Party. Anyway, Corey told him, say, man, All you do is bash brothers, but you don't bash the European. Say something right now about the European. He wouldn't say nothing. So they get in this big argument. Y'all probably seen it. My point is this, man. Corey, in my opinion, and based on what, let me get my opinion out of it. Based upon what I've read, what we see in terms of how money is utilized, spent, you know, how the federal government gives money for one thing and the state, on the state level, they use it for another. You know, these are facts, man. This shit is rigged. It's rigged, man. So I agree with Corey. But politics, how do we change the face of politics? We've had this discussion. I think the way to go about that is to start educating our young brothers and sisters. And they ain't got to be too young. We have brothers and sisters now in their 20s and 30s who can still do something about the state of affairs, about the state of politics, especially in our community. You know, I think the only trap in that is saying, okay, we get brothers and sisters in there. Do they get swept up in this get out? You know, do they all of a sudden say, you know, yeah, all right, give me the money, man. I ain't gonna say nothing. All right. I'm not gonna write this bill or support this bill. You know, I'll support that bill over this one. I'll keep my mouth shut. You know, we have to get our people involved in politics, you know, because again, there's no denying it, whether we vote or not. Politics affect every aspect of our lives. And it's going to continue to do so until we get in that arena and change that paradigm. Facts, man. Facts. You know, looking, hoping that someone that looks at us go into politics to change things for us, to make it better for us. I think, man, that's wishful thinking. Because a lot of them don't really come from where we come from. A lot of them don't. The majority of them do not. All right. So, you know, their goals are vested in something else. It is not vested in the community. Just put it like that. But yeah, man, I appreciate that, James. That's some real spit, man. The homie goes on to say politics is a noun. One, the process of making decisions for a group, especially how power, authority, and resources are distributed in societies, governments, or organizations. All right. Going back to the comment that the brother gave me about Obama, and he started off by saying that this is not, basically the political structure here is not based upon dictatorship. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Look up the real meaning of a dictatorship or a dictator. You know, you're talking about, yeah, it might be one dude is the figurehead, but there's a kobo. There's this group, there's this almost a conglomerate of people who work together to run shit.
Cohort.
No, I said cabal, a cabal. You know, I don't mean cohorts. No, I'm talking about a group of people. Look, Trump ain't no different. Trump is trying to be a dictator who's propped up by other like-minded people. The fact of the matter is they want to run shit. You know, they're going to have complete authority. And if the people get out of line, Trump just said he's going to initiate, or he's going to enact the Resurrection Act. You know? Come on, man. Last time that was enacted was like the 60s, the 70s, and the 90s. And who is it enacted on? The people. Now, the Constitution say the people have the right to rise up against a no good government, basically. You know, the government is no good. It's the people's right to rise up and overthrow the government. But then when you get certain dictators in office, like, nah, we ain't having none of that. Damn your Constitution, damn what the Constitution said. In fact, Constitution don't even apply to some of y'all. So shut up. Shut the hell up. We're going to quash this uprising. That's a dictator. That's like Iran right now, you know, mashing the people who got an issue with the government. So he's going to enact this clause in Minneapolis. Come on, man. That's some dictator shit, man. That's some dictator stuff, you know. I'm just saying that there's nothing democratic. And again, man, I think we have to stop. We have to start applying, especially when it fits our definition to certain words that they use that helps them or promote their cause, you know, and sets the cause of the people on the back burner. We have to start defining what these words mean and how to deal with these people who fit that term. That's it. You know, that just, you know, again, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Again, what is a dictatorship? You know, come on, man. One dude with a small group of people around him running everything. Running everything. Come on, man. That's what it is. Here, that's what it is. All right. Unchecked power, absolute power. You say anything against whatever it is they want to do, you are the enemy of the state. We just said this is a police state. It's a whole lot of things. A fascist government, a police, it's a whole lot of things. But what lays beneath all that, the undercurrent to all that, is not just power, man, it's money. And if you don't have no money, you don't have no say. And I don't mean Michael Jordan money, you know, Oprah Winfrey money, you know, Jay-Z money, you know, any black we have money combined. I mean, old money, you know, world-renowned money, you know, shot calling money, run the world type money. You don't got that, man. You don't run nothing. You can't say jack. You can't say jack. This is their program. Again, this is a business they're running. Just saying, man. Anytime you see a so-called president, head of state, suppressing the people's protests, that's a dictatorship, man. Yeah, come on, man. It is what it is. And that's what it is. It's a dictatorship, man. Straight up, man. Straight up. Power. Look, man, again, whether he got the popular vote or not, the fact of the matter is he had all the electoral votes. The electoral college chose him. We need to study who the electoral college is, because you know, that's not hard to do, you know. But my point is real simple, man. If power comes from the people, how the hell he thwarting what the people want in terms of power, or how it should be wielded or executed? How the hell is he saying, nah, man, damn that? It's a dictatorship. It's a dictatorship. And again, I can go all day with this, man. I can go all day with this. The power we see him wielding, it isn't even bound by law or constitution. He runs roughshod over all that. It's a dictator, man. Anyway, we want to change the face of politics. We have to get involved. And we've been saying this, and others have been saying this as well. The only way to get this done, man, we have to change the world, man. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of loss. Just be realistic. In order for that to happen, there will have to be a revolution. There will have to be. And I'm not talking about revolution of words, man. So what we see going on in the United States is a revolution of action, bullets, death. They're trying to quash that. They don't want Iran or what we see going on in Iran. They're going to figure out, they think they're way more politically savvy than that, you know? And you got to give it to them to some extent. They've been playing this game a long time, you know? But you want to change it? You got to get ready, man. You got to want to be in this shit for real, man, to the point where you know, man, it could end any day for you or anybody involved in it, because that's how they seeing it. You're not taking nothing. We know this is what we want. And to infringe on that or try to take that from them, they only gonna see that in one way, man. War. Do not try or test our power. If you do, we'll shoot you. You know? So okay. So let's go on. Let's go on. Anyway, but that's the truth in that, the homie. I appreciate that comment. You're going to say arts and crafts after school programs geared towards cultivating the Afrocentric evolution is primary to our African/Black American vitality. Obama, James Cass said Obama put homosexuals before blacks. That's enough said about that buster phony sellout. You're going to say, James, that them dudes all foul, a bunch of trash that stem from the same rotten soil. Obama, a cornball. He wasn't about nothing. Another fake smiling face. Akibetha said, Biden said, if you don't vote Biden, you're not black. I just said, and I don't understand how after he said that he still got elected. Or was that before the fact, or it was after the fact, or when he lost to Trump? But the fact that he said it, that he had the unmitigated gall, the audacity to say that. Then you had these raccoons going up there hanging out with him. Same thing they did with Trump. Before Trump, you know, he had already had aspiration to be president. You can go back 30 years and look at that, man. But you've had all these so-called black leaders and celebrities kowtowing to this guy, kissing his feet, kissing the ring. Trump actually think he an old gangster. He think he a mafioso. Yeah, think he the mob. You know, he really do. He think he a gangster, man. Anyway, I appreciate that, Akibetha. Akibetha. Thank you for that. Judah Maccabee says, respect, blessings. Hey, right back to you, bro. Respect and blessings. You coming in here, man, and dropping something in our comment. This is the Royal Group Congregation. We appreciate your presence. This is touching bases with the people, though. This is what we call this segment, you know, that we do every Tuesday and Thursday nights, man. We touch bases with one another. We think that's necessary. We think that's necessary rather than be at each other's throats. We think that, man, it's more conducive to us as a people to communicate. Through communication, man, we can start laying down some plans and foundations, man, that we can act upon, you know. That foundation, that's what we stand on, man. We're going to push like that. That's how we're pushing. We appreciate you in here, Judah. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming. Raymond Scholes said, man, they put Obama in office to perpetuate, the false idea that as blacks, we're making progress in this country. Boy, you know, hit the nail on the head. Boom. I got to get some sound effects in here one day. I don't know, man. You know? But hey, hitting the nail on the head with that one, Roscoe, real spit, man. And you're going to say he didn't even speak directly about Trayvon Martin's murder. He danced around that as a puppet. Yeah. Again, I just played this thing for us Tuesday night. what's his name, Mike Epps. When Mike Epps said, and I think he was talking to Shay Shay, I don't know, Shannon Sharp, I don't know what podium or platform he was on, or channel, but he said, hey man, they gonna do what they told. I don't care who they is, man. And the first time they talk back, my fat lip would try to descend, step away from the program. Give me all this you got. And sometimes they'll go even farther. Give me your life. Give me your kids' life. You know, because they didn't gave an oath, man. This is what we're not understanding. They're committed to these people's program. Obama wouldn't have said jack spit, man. Better not. Better not. That's what Mike Epps said. You better not. Come on, man. Major sellout. He wasn't the only one. And that's in our time. That's in our time. Reverend Al, Reverend Jackson, and I know some of y'all is going to sound disrespectful, Reverend King, Reverend Abernathy. Man, we can go on and on, man. It's a whole bunch of things that have gone on in our history in the last 50 years, 60 years that has set us back, man, another 150. Just based on their agreement. They're going along with the program. They did that to us, man. They're doing it to us now. We got cats in the communities, man. Just come on, y'all. This shit is real. Social media is that right now for us on our level, you know, for the marginalized. You get what I mean? See, when we talking about the names we just named, that's for the so-called middle-class black folk. They never gave a damn about us to begin with. Do the research, man. But now we got brothers that come from where we come from, so they say, who doing the same shit. Gatekeepers. Gatekeepers, man. And they cooning. They selling us out, man. They selling us out, man. Anytime we see this, you see this type of get down going on, come on, man. Call a spade, man. Call a strike, and a ball. That's what's happening. You know, that's what's happening. And the whole time, though, they got us on race shit, tripping on race shit. And it ain't even that. But it works. It works. It's a cold thing, man. Cold thing. Yeah, I appreciate that, Raymond. Al Thomas, what it do, bro? Good seeing this get down. You say both DEI and affirmative action benefited white women more than black people on a whole. Tell the truth. White liberal women, to be exact. You know, it's just like the welfare program. Boy, they tell you, oh yeah, you know, da-da-da. It is more blacks receiving welfare than anybody in the country, da-da-da. Lies. Lies. I mean, they may not seem the same, but they are. It's the lie that's being told, and we're eating it up. Affirmative action and DI, those are black programs that help uplift the black, you know, man and woman by the bootstrap, you know, get them up and running, you know. Nah. Never was that. Never was that. Welfare started for white folks. It was only meant to be for white folks. Welfare. That's why you have, man, you have a vast amount of white people that still receive to this day welfare. We called them county checks back in the day. Y'all call it, I don't know what y'all call it today. I don't know, you know, county checks and welfare. You know, we call them food stamps. Y'all say EBT. They had been getting all this stuff, man, way before they decided to even let us get some of that. And that didn't actually happen, man, I think till the 60s. And like I say, man, for the most part, that program was established really, I think, to help or to placate other whites who were upset about the system. Y'all got, man, politics a cold beast, man. I used to, when we was inside, man, and I don't mean to go back and talk about this shit in prison because I be trying to stay away from that shit. But listen, I had a book, Machiavelli, and I used to advise all the homies to read this book so that you can understand the game. Man, I mean that, man. Every homie came, passing out, literature. Shit that make you conscious, And I was telling them about this book. I said, this book been around a long time. This is how they get down based upon this book. It's one book of many, and it's in print. Everything that they do, man, it's in print. How this shit is ran, it's in print, But I was trying to instruct them, or advise them that it would be wise to understand, to overstand this book, man, so that if you're ever confronted with a situation, you'll know exactly what's coming at you. You'll be able to you will be able to identify it and combat it and win. Politics, man, cold beast. But anyway, yeah, this is politics we see, Al, where they say, okay, we're going to remove DEI and affirmative action. See, now they weaponize in social programs, and again, not against us, y'all, because they already done that. That's you know what I mean? It's now against the liberals, the liberal whites, the women, white women, who now want to get up and have something to say, who now are part of that alphabet soup, who speak so manly now and push like that. Look, man, the shit is going down, man. And I'm telling y'all, if we ain't got it together, man, this shit gonna fall on top of us. We be the first ones to be attacked. And the whole time, they really got an issue with their own, but they have to see us in that light, in the light of a threat. You get it? So they have to get with us in some form of fashion. They're gonna get with us first, because they said we got to get them that really know how to go to war with us. Let's find a way to divide and conquer. Again, look, they got a playbook, man, that's, like I said, it's wide open. It's wide open. That thing is, that volume, it's big, man. That thing might have 1 million pages. But anyway, yeah, hey, Al, you're absolutely right. That's not made up, bro. That's the truth. All right. And James talk about LOL. I don't know what you laughing at, but that'd be funny. The homie say, man, Barack Obama did 5 real concrete things that materially help African Americans. Please put it in the Royal Group Congregation chat, bro. Oh, he did? I'm going to get to it then. Thank you. I will get to it. 1, reduce mass incarceration. Did he? Did he? Did he? Blacks being, especially when he was president, I think it would probably be maybe 11, 12% at the time of the population. But the prisons in his term, his 8 years, were still more blacks, more than the Latino, the Mexicans in prisons, man. All right. Now, if you had said he took 3 strikes off the books, he took all those laws that had brothers, locked up for long periods of time for the same amount of dope that white people get caught for, and I mean wiped it off the books. Or if he had sent the Justice Department into each state in the union and went and who was in here illegally, who had been kidnapped. And if he did any of those things, I would be like, okay, that's one thing he did do. He didn't do that. He did not do that. He came in he came in after Clinton, after Bush, then Clinton, and that shit was in full effect, man. It was in full effect. I need, I need the proof of that. I need to see the statistics, man. I need to see what the professionals say, what those who really know say about that. Because I'm telling you, I was a dude in prison when he was president. And there were more brothers coming, younger and younger. Younger and younger. And a lot of these cases that brothers are being locked up for, man, are really unconstitutional. A lot of shit they're doing to lock us up. Man, he was allowing racial profiling. He didn't stick the Justice Department on nobody about us and how we were being treated in the streets, murdered in the streets. He honoring police in the White House, murderous cops, giving them medals of honor, Presidential Medal of Honor, or whatever that medal's called. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, that's one. You said reduce mass incarceration. Hey, Poke, how you doing, bro? Love and respect, man. Right quick, I'm gonna read that. You said doing 3 things at one time and UTG one of them. Salute to Big Bub and the Kings and Queens and the Royal Group congregation. Subscribe and like. Thank you for that, brother. Like, subscribe, share, comment, subscribe if you see fit. That's not something, like I said, we push. The homie going to say number 2, use presidential power to free Black prisoners. Man, look. Somebody just mentioned Jamal. All right. Somebody just mentioned him. He didn't free him. A real political prisoner, bro. And he's just one of many. One of many. I was in the joint with some of these brothers. Straight political prisoners. Sent there because they were a threat to the system. He knew this, man. He knew this. He knew Assata Shakur had been framed. And still allowed the FBI to put a bounty on her head. Political prisoners, man. Come on, man. I don't know. I need more. I need more. 3, he expanded health care for Black families. What'd you say? Yeah. And the question is asked, the homie, how did he do that? How did he do that? And then, if you ask me, he was half-assed about that whole program. He was half-assed about that whole program. But the question is asked to you, the homie, how did he expand healthcare for Black families? All right. 4, you said invested in Black education institutions. Well, shit, all of them do that. All of them do that. Well, Trump, he'd done it before now, and he's saying, Trump's first term, if anyone can recall, how he supported and donated to the HBCUs. That's what, come on. This term, like, nah, I'm taking back all funding. Matter of fact, I think I want to do away with them. Hey, man, Barack, I'm telling you, he pandered. That's what he did. He pandered. I don't think he was sincere in anything he done or claimed to have done for us. Because had he been genuine, it would have went a lot further. I mean, we would be able to say right now, put a finger on it, yeah, he did that. And it wouldn't be a debate. Wouldn't be a debate. We're debating whether or not he actually did anything for our community. And I'm willing to wager most of us that know better just know he did it. He done no different than any of them that came before him or anybody that's after. It just looked good. It sound good. It sound good. He didn't pass one executive order on any of these issues that he could have. That he could have. All right. So Ford was invested in Black education institutions. And again, of these HBCUs, you know, I don't know. I know a lot of these charter schools have his name on them, you know, but investment, you know, yeah. What was the investment? How long was the investment for? He has a foundation now. Is he still investing in Black education? You know, Black excellence, Black empowerment in the communities that need it most. Man is worth a pretty penny, him and his wife. Willing to wager they give more to Red Cross and the Anti-Defamation League than they do to Black people. I'm willing to wager that. I'm willing to wager that, man. There are a whole lot of causes I bet they give to more than they do their people. Again, that's the program, man. That's the way it got to be. That's the way it got to be. You know? Okay, 5, you said targeted Black male outcomes. And explain that one, please. Okay. In between 4 and 5, Raymond Scholes said Obama just recently said that all Black boys should have a gay. All right, man, we're gonna move on. All right, we're not even gonna see, we're not even gonna have this discussion no more. I'm gonna read the thing, but I think we talked enough about Obama. In all due respect, though, the homie, in all due respect, brother, I respect you. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, you know, you can bring your opinion and, you know, the things you know into this on this channel. It is needed. We appreciate that. But let's not waste our time. Let's not waste our time, brother, because I'm pretty sure you got something way better to give us. All right. Baby, just be cool. Raymond Scott said Obama just recently said that all Black boys should have a gay mentor. He's a part of the system that's meant to destroy not just our culture, Raymond, but our men and our women. So you got to allow that. If he's willing to do that for or say that about Black boys, what is he willing to say about our young sisters? All right, let me move on. Al Thomas says, salutations to you and the Queen, bro. I truly hope that all is well. Peace and blessings to the entire RGC. B1 equals Black first, man. I don't care what position of power you in, man. If that's real to you, you're genuine about that, that's what it's going to be. All right. All love to you all. Appreciate you, Al. Thank you. James say yes. The intro, the original song is awesome. It hits in the fields 1000. I don't disagree. It was fire. It was fire. You know, wait a minute. Are you talking about the Under the Groove song, the first one, intro, or the second one by Roxy, you know, the home queen, Roxy the Duchess? Sappy is the name of the cut, though. Judah Maccabee says, G-Mac sends mine. All right, loved one, you're doing great things. All right, appreciate that, bro. Yeah. Okay, Al say I respectfully, Al Thomas says, I respectfully disagree with that, the homie. The homie again said, number one, reduce mass incarceration. The homie said, Al Thomas, okay, respect your opinion, sir. And I do appreciate how you brothers interact, man. And that, I think that's the example. We can agree to disagree and still be, you know, respectful, still have love and understanding for our brothers, man, and respect each other, man. That's the way it should. That's the only way it's supposed to be. All right. C1, what it do? Grand Rising, she says to all the family, packing the bowls, sending. Come on, girl. And pack another one. Get you a second bowl for me, will you please? She said, packing a bowl, sending blessings all the way across the world. Be one love. Yes, ma'am. We love you. Good to see you here too, sister. I'll go on to say, man, while he reduced the federal prison population through commutations, he did basically nothing on the state level. And I was saying, hey man, I'm in there, I'm watching. You know, I was a Hoover dude, but I was highly political, bro. All right, and all I see with young brothers, they're getting younger and younger. Their life sins. I'm watching young brothers while he was president, just coming in there, man, in droves. I'm like, damn, there go the culture, there go the population. All these young fathers, all our hopeful Malcolms and Marcus Garveys, all the daddies is in here, But yeah, I agree with you on that too. All right. You say I saw that, bub. Okay, Jeff James. Raymond Scott said, regarding politics, I respect the ideology of the Black Panther Party. I would love to see our people adopt those same philosophies. Unity is imperative for our survival. I just saw some in Philadelphia. Yeah, it was Philly. One Detroit. The Panthers. Anyway, the police pulled up on them. Two brother cops. Brothers are strapped. They got ARs. Finger right there at the trigger, man, ready to go, man. And the cops pulled up, try to, brothers went in on them. And I say, man, that's the type of power we supposed to have, man. That's what we supposed to be on, Appreciate the Panthers, man, especially the new Panther Party, man. Let's hope they do better and do greater things, man, for the communities, Let's hope that they spread out, man, as they should, man, and touch brothers and sisters, where they need to be touched, Let's see if things can change, man. We need to get off this stuff we own, man, and get on what really matters. Panther Party, yeah. Al goes on. Al Thomas said, I knew that clash was going to happen as soon as I saw him on the 5150 show. I'm telling you, I watched that, man, and I was like, ooh. But Anton Daniels, like I say, the gist of it, what I got from it is he's a raccoon. And what made him go on Corey's show, I do not know. But I said, oh shit, this is gonna be bad, And I said, I know very little about the brother, but when that shit started, I said, this is gonna be bad. And stuff start coming out. Now he's actually in social media. His face is everywhere. They're talking about all his business now. Anton Daniels talking about all his business now. And I'm like, oh man. And see, this is the thing. This is our go-to when we have a disagreement with a brother, whether that brother's a raccoon or not. We go all in. And then I have to say, even Corey, to some extent, he does that to brothers and sisters too. He has a mixture. He tries to balance it out, which is what Daniel said. I balance it out. But no, man, no. They're in the balance. We know the balance is uneven. There's no equilibrium, man, in this get down, man. There's no balance for us. There's no balance in the weighing of what we go through as opposed to what they go through, what they get away with and what we don't. There's no balance. So damn balance. If you're going to address something, address it, man. And then understand why you don't have to, or you should not address brothers and sisters. I mean, if that's the thing you want, you know what I mean? I don't know. My take on it. Anyway, James said, yeah, that's how them sellouts move, bending over for their masters. They sell out the second them crackers become their employer. That's true. That's true as well. Okay, I'm getting these. What am I talking about? Okay, thanks, baby. Got you. Okay. Yeah, man, Pope Mitchell podcast TV said there's layers to this politics stuff. My wife is a teacher by trade who is severely underpaid, not just because her degree says so, but because of some children, it is a second home of what they may be getting at home. It is a second home of what they may be getting at home, especially when it comes to our Black disadvantaged kids. Again, yeah, it's all political, man. It's all political. You just said something. Your wife being a teacher, there's no respect in the government for teachers, for educators. You know, just there isn't, man. See, those in power understand that there's no real education being meted out to begin with. You know, real education costs. It costs good money, real money, you know, because they understand that that education they're getting is going to propel them to that next level of education, which is going to cost. You know why it costs? They're paying into a system to where they're educating their kids to a point where now y'all going to become a part of it. Y'all going to pick up where we left off at, or where we fall off at. Y'all going to be the next ones. You know, being advisors, being aides to those who really got the power. Just get down, man. They're not going to educate. They're not going to pay teachers in communities, man, where there are disadvantaged, marginalized children coming in hungry, coming in stressed out, depressed, traumatized because of what's going on in the home. No, they're not going to pay them, man. No, man. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, Paul. It's a whole lot going on, man. Raymond Scott said, man, I agree that our people should get involved in politics. However, our people who's rich don't feel as if blacks have problems in America, nor does racism exist. No, man. Yeah, yes, no, yes, no, no, yes. They the ones with the money. They got to play the game. They cannot go against the grain. They know. They know, man. They know. They know, man. Take for instance, Oprah Winfrey went all the way to Africa to open a school. Why she do that? Rather than open one here. It ain't a trick question, but you know, there's a lot to that. There's a whole lot to that. These people are involved in things, man, we will not know until that day they go against the grain. We're going to learn everything. We'll learn everything about them. You know, it's a whole lot going on, y'all. We have them people. Yeah, we got people who got paper. And you're right, they don't even consider them our people or us their people. But they not finna lose nothing for those they can give a damn about. They're not gonna lose nothing, man. They, you know, they've already been warned. You know, yeah, they'll say on national TV, oh, I don't think racism is a thing anymore. How many times have we saw that or heard that from our people? And then it'd be some of them, we like, man, I thought you was with the business. And get up there and say, oh, no, I don't think racism is an issue anymore. Or, oh, you know, racism it's not as bad as it used to be. You know, compared to the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you know, racism now, you know, it's just, you know, it's not bad at all. We've made strides. You know, black people have did that. The script already been handed to them in terms of how to respond to questions like that. And then they don't go on shows where they can get really drilled. They go where you know the reception is amicable. It's not amicable, but it's not threatening. You know what I mean? It's not threatening. So yeah, you have that, man. They should get involved in politics, but and then those who really do get involved in politics, for the most part, some of them tend to think or like to say, or we can guess that they come from a little bit of money, that they're established, you know, in the system. They know the right people to contact. They dealt with them since they was kids or whatever the case may be. You know, it's a lot of stuff going on, y'all, that we're not mindful of. You know, a lot of these people, man, really, yeah, they don't give a flying F about none of us, man. Move on, man. Okay, I see you, Poke. I think I got the gist of it though. Yeah. You said doing three things, but I'm here. I'm here. Continue. Okay, what the kids may not be getting at home. Yeah, a meal, some attention. You know, can't even discipline kids in school. No, I remember, man, we used to get the fuck SWAT. Hey, man, they used to tear our asses up. I ain't lying. Shit. Second grade, teacher tried to whoop me. I hit her. Got my ass whooped in the classroom. Then got home, got ass whooped. I remember being paddled, getting SWATs at Lauren Miller Elementary, at LaSalle Elementary, at Woodcrest. I remember that shit, man. You know, and you know, for the most part, to be quiet, you just be straight up, man. You know, it kind of it didn't tame me, but it put me in a state of mind where okay, I got to be a little careful. Can't let the teacher discover, you know, figure me out because that's a SWAT. And I don't want no SWAT. You know, so it kind of curbed my enthusiasm, so to speak. You know, my rambunctiousness. You know. Yeah, SWAT, that's what's missing. That's one thing that's missing. In the community, man, the people in the community could whoop your ass. And I'm telling you, that lasted up until the early 80s. Crack cocaine came. Boom. You know? So yeah, man, it's a lot to it. Al Thomas says, man, no Obama, no Obama. I love it. No, Obama couldn't have done significantly more had he chose to do so. He made it crystal clear who he chose to back. The Rainbow Squad. All right. So much so that they refer to him as the gay president in Newsweek. Wow. I do recall that. That's who he was. Al goes on to say this motherfucker, and I want to just say MF, but you know, but this motherfucker had the White House draped in the rainbow. Oh, the outside lights. I remember that. I was super done with him at that point. Hey man, I remember that. I was actually done with him, man, for that, man. I was not fooled from the jump. It was to me, it was something before any of this that made me to and I got loved one. We got homies who done time with me and tell you I didn't trust that cat from day one. Excuse me. I didn't trust him from day one. It was something about him I didn't trust. It was all it was what's the word? Not made up, but it seemed all orchestrated. Like he had been being groomed. You know, as a what was he, a congressman? Was in Chicago. It's something didn't seem right. I didn't trust him from day one. But anyway. All right, M13, you know, good to see you. Let's get down again. Thank you for showing up. All right, the homie, you go to you're at again. You say number 2, use presidential power to free Black prisoners, commuted 1,700 plus federal sentences. Majority were African American. Largest clemency effort ever. That's direct, personal. I am. Reduce mass incarceration, sign the Fair Sentencing Act, cut racist crack cocaine penalties, freed or shortened sentences for thousands of Black men. This hit one of the biggest. Al Thomas goes on to say, after you, the homie, yet and still, the industrial prison complex still exists. He did nothing. That's my take on it. That's what I was saying, and I think incarceration was one of the main things he could have done something about, knowing that the system was rigged against us, knowing that crack cocaine had came to the communities to destroy us, to dismantle us. And in fact, it did just that on the federal level, but on a state level at a greater level. Man, the incarceration of Black men on the state level had to be 5-6 times that of the federal level. Did nothing about that, man. did nothing about that. Why would you do something, or why would you profess a claim or to do something on the federal level for brothers, and you didn't come to the state level and do the same thing? What was the agreement that he succumbed to, that he gave into? Well, all right, look here, boy. We ain't gonna let you let all of them out. You pick and choose. You gonna have the federal level or the state level. Which one you want to let out, boy? All right, well, go and give me the feds then. Didn't do nothing on the state level. And on the state level, we suffered way more. You know? I'm saying. M13, say keep spitting, OG. Most these politicians ain't for us. Facts. Facts. We're just talking about someone named a brother on the LA City Council, I think it is. And and I'm remiss for not going back. I've been, no excuses. There's something about this. I'm gonna get to that, and maybe just so you guys know, I may do something this weekend live, because I want to do more. All right, so I'm gonna send the notifications out. Maybe this Saturday or Sunday, maybe both days. We're gonna just hang out. All right, and when we do, not if, but when we do, I'm gonna have that brother. I'm gonna vet that cat. It was something I read that I wasn't feeling, but we'll talk about it soon. Politicians are not for blacks, man. Even black politicians are not for blacks. And if there are any, they're few and far between. Very few. A lot of them want to waste time arguing with crackers about white people, about the, a whole lot of BS to me. I support and like, the fire and passion of some of them. But at some point, stop pointing fingers and let's get down with the get down. Start writing your own ABs, your own bills, and start passing them on to Black Caucus. You have a damn Black Caucus in the Congress and the Senate. And come on, man. That right there is evidence, man, that don't care. Don't care. Do not care, man. Not there for us. All right. Al Thomas says, every president commutes sentences respectfully. Right. That was nothing new. That's true. That's true. The homie said 5 targeted black male outcomes launched My Brother's Keeper, focused on black boys and men, education, jobs, mentoring, justice reform. First president to name the problem out loud and, hold on. Where are you, homie? I want to finish that, man, because you about to say something else. Where you go, homie? Okay. No, you didn't finish it, but that's okay. All right. Anyway, I get what you're saying. Again, though, I think, we're going to have to agree to disagree in terms of what he actually did that was beneficial to the people. I'm going to disagree that he did anything of substance, real substance for us, our people in all 50 states. Justin today said, peace to everyone. Likewise, peace to you as well, brother. Al goes on to say that all that sounds good. Rakufu said, Al, none of us done nothing. Thank you. That's true. And that's true. That's true. All right. Al Thomas says, man, I actually expected more from him, but seeing that he's biracial, raised by his white mother, what more could we have expected? And boom, goes the dynamite. I like that phrase. And boom, goes the dynamite. All right. Something to that. Akufu says, if one of us got something better, please step up. All right. All right. And again, y'all, let's just be rational. Let's not be emotional or in our feelings. Let's just, let's not get to the point, let's just have a conversation like we've been having. All right. I think though, and I get your point, Rakufu. It has merit. What are we doing, y'all? All right. What are we doing? All right. Okay. Okay, let me finish though. Al says, man, we held that off. He held that office, sir, not one of us. That's great. Justin today said, I love every race. Yeah, man. And then that's the thing. Again, racism is something, it's a created concept. All right. And it serves those with the money and power. All right. So that, there's a whole lot to this. Rakufu goes on to say, this is not about who done the most, but do something positive. All right. Pope Mitchell podcast says, man, a lot of these politicians we knew about ahead of time. We seen them come for the Latino community and knew blacks would be next, but still chose to assassinate each other instead of encouraging and assisting and supporting our people. I'm going to read that again. A lot of these politics we knew about ahead of time. We seen them come for the Latino community and knew blacks would be next, but still chose to assassinate each other instead of encouraging and assisting and supporting our people. Now, I'm going to speak to that, and I get what you're saying, Polk, and I can appreciate it. But see, now here, again, we've been saying to other ethnicities, ethnic groups, that we know the script, man. This is how they play ball. So either y'all gonna, you ain't got to do what we say, but at least take our advice. Leave that camp alone over there. That camp don't mean, now when somebody, you know how it go, what mama used to say, a hard head make a soft ass, man. All right. That those were discussions before the fact, before the man won or whatever. Say, hey man, y'all tripping, don't do that. And then, they did it anyway. And now, help, support us, assist us. We need you. Where was all that when we were telling you, don't do that? But now we're the bad guys. Now we're the bad guys. Their ire is pointed at us now. It's our fault. It's our fault. But we're the same ones telling y'all ain't nobody been through what we've been through with them. Why would you not listen? But it's our fault now. All black people won't help us. Black people are selfish. Black man, I read all that stuff. I was watching them videos. Them was videos I was watching, especially around that time. But listen, man, what do you expect? What do you expect? If black people telling you, hey man, around that corner, there is a pack of robbers, jackers, and they led by this one dude, this motherfucker crazy. Don't take that corner, man. Matter of fact, cross to the other side of the street, because you go around that corner, you're gonna get jacked. You're gonna get hoodwinked. You'll be bamboozled. You'll be led astray. You're gonna get jacked, man. You're gonna get played. Dudes go around that corner anyway, man. People go around that corner anyway, man. Then come run back naked, embarrassed, ashamed. Ain't gonna say that's y'all fault. Wait a minute, man. We just told you. I don't know, man. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it. I have thoughts about all that, man. And I have thoughts about that before all that. Before all that, man. I'm not moved by it. Let's be real, man. Let's be real. People not trying to listen to us, ain't trying to be a part of us, ain't trying to love us, respect us, appreciate us. People are living off us. Our struggles. Affirmative action. You got white women receiving more affirmative, getting it better than black women. Civil rights. You got all kind of people now will tell you, man, y'all ain't had nothing to do with civil rights. Oh, it ain't because of y'all. Nah, man. Nah. No. No. But see, again, and I have to say this. This is our doing. This is our doing. Because there have been times when we had it in our favor to push harder and stronger to get to the end of this. Man, we took our foots off their neck. We wasn't going one for one. You know, the brothers in the joint back in the day say, hey man, one of us, 5 of y'all. And they was pushing that. We took our feet off the pedal. We ran out of gas or something. Somebody somewhere along the way got scared. Things got twisted. Come on, man. This some serious stuff, y'all. Okay, so what we gonna do? We got to stop pointing the fingers, man, at other people. We got to start taking accountability, responsibility for what it is we're doing. We got to stop listening to this white noise and this chatter about us, what we ain't got, what we ain't did, who we got to get back to us, man. And until we do, we can't help nobody else, man. People are asking for our help and we don't even help ourselves. We can't even help ourselves. What help I'm gonna get to somebody, man? And I am in distress. I'm being dealt with under duress, man. I'm being brutalized. I'm being oppressed. I'm being shut out. What the hell I'm gonna help? Nah, man. I'm telling y'all, we gotta start thinking. We gotta start thinking like men, like warriors, like women, like warriors, man. We got to know what our cause is about first, what our purpose is, who we are. We're not gonna help. No, we can't help anyone. We can't help ourselves. Those just facts, man. Them are Latinos. We call ourselves Black or African Americans. They got what they got, what we got. But they asking for our help. We can't help ourselves, man. Who the hell we gonna help, man? Nah, fuck all that. Get our shit together. Save ourselves, man, so we can save them who want to be saved. We gonna be the saviors of the world. Gotta get our shit together, man. I don't care about nobody talking about what we didn't do for them. We did that already. How the hell y'all think y'all doing what y'all doing now? That's off our backs. Come on, man. They're trying to bleed the turnip dry, man. Fuck that. Damn that. Help ourselves, man. If it's politicians and politics that is being used and worked against us, we need to get into politics and have our own politicians. If it's a new political party, then we need to back up from Democrats and Republicans and start our own shit. If it's about, man, dismantling gang activities, man, in our community, then that's what it got to be about. This is how we help ourselves. If it's about, okay, keeping the black dollar within the black community or black businesses, then that's what we have to start doing. But we helping everybody. We ain't got shit, man. All we got is anger and animosity and hate for each other. But we quit to help somebody else, man. We ain't helping our damn selves. That don't make sense to me. I'm not with that. I'm not against no people. I'm for my people. That's it. I'm for my people in such a time, man, when we got ours together to such a degree, to such a level, man, where we could say, okay, who we finna help, y'all? Because they need it. We straight. We straight. Who we gonna help? But until then, shit, man, better help yourself. Because y'all ain't trying to help me or mine. Nah. Al Thomas says, man, I'm not capping for his ass. I was a supporter initially, but his inaction changed that. We're yet to have a black president. He wasn't it. I agree. I agree. Rakufu said, man, if we all do something positive, we will move forward. I agree. What are we supposed to be doing, Rakufu? How do we get to the point where we start progressing in the sense or in the way of positivity? What do we need to be doing? What can we do to get this ball to rolling? What? And I'll agree too. He said, I agree with that. All right, good. Politics is war without using a gun. Not all the time. You know, diplomacy, is something, it's politics. You know, politics becomes war with the gun when people don't want to agree with something that's, when disagreements aren't met or people do not succumb, or give in, relent, to someone's whim, desire, or goal or whatever. Politics, yeah, it's just, it's it's a segue, man, to war. And war can be waged in more ways than one. You don't always need a gun for politics or to have a war going on. You can go to war with dollars, economics. Again, we've said over here, we've been at war economically, socially, educationally. Yeah, politics is all that. When we see the guns, it's when that shit don't work on us no more. That's when we see the guns. All right. That's when politics become war with guns, when we ain't buying that shit no more. Politics is all that, man. With or without guns. Politics is war, man. And I'm telling you, it's the haves against the have-nots. They the ones who run politics. All right. Rakufu said, Bub, I missed your answer. Did you watch The Boy in? Yes, I did, bro. Yes, I did. And I thought that, like, come on, little German boy, you can't be that damn dumb. I was trying to understand his thinking, especially after gave the boy the cake and the Nazi, it was cold intimidation. How he did it. He spooked him. And I imagine that's how a lot of cats react, in the streets today. He said, no, he did it, but he did that, he gave the little dude up, man. He gave the little dude up. I'm like, damn, man, that's some cold shit. Now, what really struck me, and I said this to my wife, I said, oh, the little Jew boy played him. The little Jewish boy played him. He probably knew what was coming. I don't know, man. It's like, hey, man, come on in the gate. Yeah, I went and got you the striped pajamas and everything. Come on. I don't know if I don't know, man, why he put the pajamas on, got that shovel, dug up on that gate, and went into that concentration camp. Why the little Jewish boy Ananoxy or whatever they call him, entice him to come to the gate. Was it to get back at him for getting his ass beat for eating that cake that the little German boy gave him to begin with? I don't know. I was like, oh no, man, this is some sinister shit. I didn't know what to take from that, man. I was saying to my wife, we're watching it. I said, he gonna kill this, he gonna get that little boy killed. That's what I kept saying, right? He gonna get that little. I was talking about the little Jewish boy. That the Germans gonna get the little Jewish boy killed. You know, kept going over the gate, playing with him, playing ball and all shit. And one of them Nazis was gonna see him kill his ass. And then it changed to like, oh, the little Jewish boy gonna get him killed. Walked him right into the gas chamber. Walked him right into the gas chamber, man. And I'm still stuck, Rakufu, just trying to comprehend what the message was. Because I'm getting, you know, I have 2, maybe 3 different interpretations on how to look at that shit. But I thought it was deep. I even said, oh, that's karma. You know, I said, that's karma. You know, the wife is distraught over what's going on. You know, her husband having a hand in killing all these people, you know. She just, boom, she loses it, you know, basically. And I don't give a, you know, eating his beef or whatever the hell, you know, it wasn't no big thing. Let him get beat down right in front of his kids, you know, I'm like, it ain't no big thing. That's how he was like, it ain't nothing. This is what we do, it's normal. Yeah, man, damn. Then your son end up in the concentration camp at that moment when they're clearing out, you know, half of the yard to go get gassed. He get caught up in that. I don't know. Like I say, I had 3 ways to leave. I don't know, man. But yeah, it was a movie to watch, and I'm glad I watched it. All right. And thank you for that. You know, you got another one, let me know. Any of y'all got some good movies, let me know. No, that's what me and the wife do. We love movies. We watch movies. You know, I'm trying to get her to watch, you know, some of the type of movies I like. You know, I don't know if I ever get it to that stage, but hey. And then I don't like having competing TVs on. I can't really concentrate because something might be like very interesting over there on that TV, and I'll look away and I'd miss what happened on mine. So but anyway, y'all got some good movies, put them in there, man. And I appreciate that movie suggestion, Rakufu. I really do, man. I really do. Pope Mitchell, man, said, Bud, prison introduced a lot of street folk to the politics and never liked it then. Because the politics in there too, were selective. But I hear you. Excuse me. Yeah, see, politics in there are selective only when you allow yourself to be put in this category or to be compartmentalized in some selective group. Think about that. Think about it. See, politics in a lot of ways in there are pure. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you can get it uncut. You can get them uncut. You can get them cut, watered down. That was a lesson I learned early, you know, early. So one of my objectives, what I knew I was not going to do first time I went in there was never to associate with what they call prison gangs. Nobody's paperwork will be able to dictate to me because I just observing those are politics that you're not going to win at. You know, it's like, again, see, we're dealing with Trump. His politics are cold. You're going to take it or leave it. And if you want to buck, he's going to buck you. Same thing in there, man. So when you sign on to this type of stuff, man, you got to understand what you're signing on to. In there, man, no. In fact, one of the homie recipes, Swollen, was first dude told me, don't fuck with that. I'm telling you, bub, nope, don't fuck with it, bro. Trust me. Took that advice. I took that advice. And I would sit back and watch all these different factions in their politics. You know, I tell y'all, man, observation is your best teacher. Observation could teach you anything, man, you need. I'm telling you, real spit. And I learned just from looking at a whole lot of stuff, man, on the yard, man, early on. And I knew, man, every time I learned something, I'm glad I ain't in that shit. You know, politics, man, don't have to be what we see. You understand? So we're looking at politics in its negative light, in its negative form. So there were politics before these politics that we see, before the politics that was on the yards. You know what I mean? I don't think that politics are bad per se. I think that those who wield the strings, who control the strings, pull the strings in terms of politics, make politics bad. You know, there were politics, man, before, the European even understood that, he could plant food and eat, once he came out that cave, there were politics involved, man, down in the Nile Valley, Sudan, Nubia, wherever, that it wasn't this. It wasn't this. What we're dealing with, what we're looking at is the twist, the twist, the Greek twist, the European twist, the Roman twist, Caucasian twist on politics. That this just, my take on it. If I'm, again, man, hey, man, jump in the comments, man, and give it to me different if you got it like that. Let's have that discussion. I don't think all politics are like we see them today. I just don't. But if you want to be aware of what's going on in terms of how politics are put in front of people, are utilized, yeah, just pay attention. They got a whole lot of books on it. Read some books, man. Watch some stuff. Listen, but in there, out here, yeah, politics are faulty. They're faulty. So yeah, I know that late. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm gonna read that again. Polk says, Bud Prison introduced a lot of street folk to the politics and never liked it then. I never liked it then because the politics in there too were selective. But I hear you. Yeah, they were. Politics can be compartmentalized into all different aspects, like we were speaking of earlier. There could be a politic on anything. And depending on who that individual is trying to do whatever that individual is trying to do, will determine if that politic is going to work for you or against you. Lord of the Groove. Have you heard of the Hoover Crips streamer, Groovy Jim? No, I have not. Is that a documentary or something, or is it a channel? Or I don't know what that is. Have you heard of the Hoover Crips streamer, Groovy Jim? No, I have not. Our time in Lord of the Groove, man, appreciate you in here, man. Appreciate you dropping that comment, brother. This is Under the Groove podcast. Tonight is what we call touching bases with the people. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday. You may know that you're here, and I appreciate you being here, bro. You're more than welcome to be here, man. Keep it respectful, man. And, keep in mind that, man, everything we do is above board. All right. We get down with the get down. We focus on the focus, man. You're more than welcome to be here, and we appreciate, showing you, having your presence in this get down, man. So thanks for that. All right. Appreciate you. Al Thomas said, in my opinion, there was no difference between Obama and Trump. Neither has had a significant influence nor impact on my life. I can say the same thing. Justin Sadeh says the whole needs to get in the Father word for real, for real. I imagine you're saying you need to get into the word of the Father. We're talking about the whole world. Yeah, get into the Bible, man. Get into the word Scripture. And I have to say, because I just think it's appropriate to say, sometimes what we think, especially when it's respectful, it's It's being said to garner understanding, but or to point out something that we've observed or understand, you know, when we look at something deeply enough, seriously enough. Just, you know, be careful with all that too. It's politics now. It's politics. Religion, faith, all that shit is politics. It's politics, man. So, you know, be careful. Lord of the Groove says, and again, he's back with another comment. Appreciate that. Like I said, brother, it is normal for a Hoover Crip to call police on people who bully Jim every day, because that's what Groovy Jim does on live streams and claims Hoover. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna cut to this, man. You know, I don't know nothing about that, bro. You know, straight up. I don't involve myself in that. You know what I mean? I talk to loved ones, and you know, I talk about serious shit, man. You know, I talk about what's right and what's wrong, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, you know, our growth, you know, our unity, our love, man, our respect, you know, what we have, what we don't have, what we need as opposed to what we want. You know what I mean? That's what I, you know, that's how I involve myself with the loved ones. I don't talk police shit, you know, I don't talk gang shit, you know. And, you know, I love my community, man, but I don't love what the community is and what it's become. You know, so I tend to, I don't shy away from nothing, but I tend to stay away from that type of get down unless, you know, it's warranted in such a way to where, okay, the harm is being done to brothers who need to be helped rather than harmed, you know? And I mean, in terms of education, prosperity, positivity, and shit of that nature. So, you know, that might be for one of the other loved ones who have a channel and, you know, they into that type of conversation. That one's not for this platform or this channel, bro. In all due respect. All right. So if you want to talk about, you know, the positivity that we need in the community, productivity, growth, you know, that sort of thing, man, how we can get something and keep it so that those coming up behind us can have access to it, legacies and shit like that. Come on in here, man. Stand here with us. Stand here with us, man. If not, man, you know, like I suggested, you know, them conversations, they're being held on some more channels, man, by the loved ones who got them, you know, so that might fit right into their, you know, their program, their itinerary. All right. All right. All love and respect, homie. Thank you, Al. Thank you. The homie said Black Americans were overrepresented amongst the uninsured before 2010. The ACA targeted the exact barriers that caused that. You go on to say, the homie, that one, insurance access, the highest change. What change? Health insurance, marketplaces, subsidies tied to income, coverage, regardless of job status. Okay, so let me tell you something. This is what I recall in the 70s. Do you know in the 70s, man, more people, Black people in the community had insurance than was thought of? All right. I BS you not, man. And I'm going to tell you how I know. Every day, a white guy, an insurance agent, was getting jacked coming out of some Black person's house, some Black woman, Black man's house after collecting insurance. This is monthly. I don't care what street. And they didn't stop coming, you know, but what we saw was more, you know, police patrols, you know what I mean? But I'm saying that to say this, man. My grandmother, my grandfather, my aunts, they all had insurance. Not just life, they had insurance, man. Real shit. All that. So that's, you know, to make like, or to suggest that insurance for blacks went up in 2010 or whatever, whenever. No, man, that's a mistake. That's not true. Now, coverage probably fell, and you can probably put your finger on it, discern or say or have an idea when insurance, health insurance, life insurance coverage failed or started to lapse in black communities. The 80s, cocaine era. All right. Think about that, man. But to say that, or for anyone to drum up stats saying in 2000 insurance rates for blacks became, no, man. And I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm saying I know for a fact every street I lived on in months were poor, man. Had insurance, man. Had insurance, full coverage. I lived on down there every street on Hoover in the 70s, few streets in the 80s, in the hundreds. That's not an exaggeration. Life insurance, health insurance, home insurance, all that. Man, that's the thing. See, something happened. Even when they were trying to keep us out, when they were redlining us, man, and all the stuff they were doing to us, we still found a way to get shit done. We still made it happen. We still rose. And yet we rise, Crack cocaine hit. Everything, man, that our elders, man, the ones who came before us worked for, it's gone. Or we lost. Our generation lost it. So to say, man, insurance access, the biggest change, what changed health insurance, marketplace, subsidies tied to income. Oh, man, that shit was already going on, bro. That shit was already going on. And don't think for a minute they can't doctor stats and data. It's what they do. Tell us we never had nothing. They doctor history. They do a number, man. Anything they saying we never had, we had it. We had. All right. I'm just saying, like I say, man, that's not a knock at you. I'm not debating this with you. I'm telling you what I know. I'm 61, man. I remember all that. I remember the white guys coming to my grandmama's house, man, and her neighbors, picking them, go from house to house, across the street, house to house, then come back, get in his car, and leave. Then I start to see them licks go down. What, the mama got money? But I learned that from my grandma. Grandma give me $50. Come on, man. There ain't no bullshit. But anyway, there that is. Raymond Scholes says, man, a book called The New Jim Crow, written by Michelle Alexander, details how Obama actually got more blacks locked up than released. Oh, shit, we got to get that book. I got to read that. Oh, shit. Rakufu said, remember, I asked Chat GPT this. I asked Chat GPT, this is not my research, just trying to give us content. And again, so listen, and I've said this, I said this to my wife, especially. I say, man, that shit is a trick. See, this is a creation they put together. This is their work. Man, shoot. Hey, man, it's the same, man. Just listen. I wouldn't trust AI no more than I trust a crooked politician. I just wouldn't. Let's be careful. So we want to be careful. We know to be careful about them people, but then we don't know to be careful about the things they put out. Make that make sense? Most anything they put out today has a twist, there's something behind it. Cell phones. Most of us don't know. Everywhere we go, we take the police with us. Cars. Especially these up-to-date cars. Everywhere you go, they can cut your car off if they choose to. The television in your house is the police. Even when it's off. We don't trust them, but we trust the products. We trust the innovations. Nah, man. Gotta be careful, man. Fine line, y'all. Fine line. But anyway, Rakufu, you said, remember I asked Chat GPT to tell me what did Obama do for our community, because you or me or anyone could think of anything. Okay. Okay, the Mike Hall comedy, man. Mike Hall comedy said, shut up, cool. Nah, man, we not having that, man. Nah, that ain't cool. Mike Hall comedy. We don't do that here, bro. Nah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We don't do that. Yeah. I feel you, Rakufu. Yeah, he's gone. Don't worry. No worries. We're not gonna miss him. We're not gonna miss him. Poke Mitchell, podcast CVC Bub. I do feel like Barack Obama could have done more, but my grandmama died in 2005. Barack got in office in 2013. He started the ACA that would have helped my grandmama with better health decisions to keep her alive longer. So I do appreciate what he did for elder blacks. After that, I miss my grandma, Ella Mae Huff. R.I.P. Our condolences and our praise and love and respect to Miss Huff, man, your grandma. That being said, man, I'm not gonna come back and I have nothing to reply to that. All right. So hey, man, it is what it is with you, man, and your loved ones. So I'm not here to go into that with you, bro. All love and respect. All right. And in fact, that go for anybody. I'm not going to attack nobody on nothing. I'm just, this is where we can do what we're doing. We can have conversations, man. And if things don't go, we know how to let's fall back, man. Let's step back, man. Breathe, and then let's groove on, man. We ain't got to be stuck on nothing, man. That's gonna have us at odds, man. All right. And I know they ain't what you saying, Poke. I'm just saying. Yeah, Rakufu, that dude, what the hell that was? Okay, Rakufu said, though, that chat GPT said those 5 things. All right, cool. And the reason I asked, so we could elevate it. Oh, excuse me, evaluate it. The reason I asked, so we could evaluate it and make our understanding felt. Al Thomas says, man, chat GPT is not the end all to be all. That's what I say too, though. Raymond Scholes says, man, as melanated people, I believe that we need to understand the system we're up against. This is how we develop an effective solution to fight that oppressive system. And that's the thing, man. So when we look back to revolutionaries, are revolutionaries, and I don't care, man, what a decade or century we're talking about, are revolutionaries who understood they were in a repressive system. They, just what Raymond said, what they did, man, is they got to the point where they understood what they were up against. And by that, man, they were able to combat that system. And actually, man, see, a lot of people, especially the history books of their history, won't tell the truth. A lot of what our people did is really what precipitated or what initiated the change in this country. especially for us. You know, the lie Lincoln freed the slaves, damn lie. I just saw some on that today too, but I knew that from jump. Damn lie. The lie that blacks were okay on plantations, didn't want to leave. Damn lie. Don't tell you about the uprisings, man. They'll select a few. They'll select a few. They'll tell you about certain ones, you know, only because they caught them and they was able to, enact retribution, they hang them, cut them open, whatever. They don't tell you about the major uprisings. Whole slave family, the master families being wiped off the face of the earth. They don't tell you that shit. They don't tell you that Abraham Lincoln said, man, if I'd had to free these, I wouldn't. Man, fuck Abraham Lincoln. And go look that up. Somebody need to ask ChatGPT, did he say that? He said, if I didn't have to free these, I would not. Then turned around and used us as fodder. Well, at least that's what he thought he was doing, not understanding he was dealing with black folk. No greater warrior. They were getting it done. Getting it done, man. Put them on the front lines. Same with every other war. They start with each other. Come get us, man, and tell some lie about us in the war, man. Truth be told, man, if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have won the war. They wouldn't have won none of them wars. Care how many bombs they had, how many muskets, But anyway, that's the lie, man. And that's what they do. Yeah, this system is built on lies. This country is built on lies, So there that is. Raymond Scott said, man, I watch Anton Daniels at times. Bro is arrogant, and I have heard him express anti-black sentiments. Hey, man, he's like that other guy, man. The guy, he looks like he's kind of retarded. And he's just the most ignorant brother, man, I've seen on social media, man. And he's a raccoon, no doubt. Oh my God, what's this dude's name? He gets brothers and sisters up there and he tries to embarrass them, make them look bad and call them, he's just, oh my God, I forget this guy's name, man. I don't know. But yeah, we get a lot of them, y'all. We get a lot of them. And again, they tap dancing. That's the bottom line, y'all. They tap dancing. They tap dancing. Lisa Moore, how you doing, Queen? She a peace and blessings, brother. Love to the kings and queens in the chat. B1. All right. Love, King. Love. All right. Right back to you, sister. Good to see you and to get out. Oh, we've been having a good one tonight. M13, say, I remember Lil Wayne was raccooning saying he didn't see any black issues. Yeah, I remember that. But most of them knew that. When they get this money, I'm telling y'all, man, it's some shit in play we won't even comprehend unless you got that kind of money, man, to be approached and be spoken to in such a way where you know exactly what side your bread is buttered on. This, hey, man, it's going down. We have a whole lot of them. I would say the majority of them. I would even go as far as say all of them. All of them. And if I'm wrong, it would be easy to discern which one is it. And that would be based upon what this individual, not only what he say or she says, but what they do. You know, there that is. There that is. Got them celebrities under control. Him 13, you know, got them under control. They bet not dip a fork. They bet not. Sharp Spear 299 said, peace, Big Bub. We got to take over the politics in our community. That's right. The black elite only needs us to be permanent victims so they can reign over ghettos. It's a difficult climb. The gatekeepers, y'all. We got them in social media in our communities. They want to be gatekeepers. They want to let them know, man, we're going to play ball. Now, can I eat? Can I get a bag? I will continue to spread dissension, disrespect, self-hate, self-loathing, negativity if you just let me eat. Want to be a part of the black elite, what they call them, the boule? They ain't nothing but some slaves, man. Them raccoons, man, in the house, you know? In the house. You know, some of them, they want a horse and a whip. Rifle on their hip that they patrol the communities and shit, you know. Real shit, man. Appreciate that comment, Sharp Spear. The home, you got another one. What is called The Home? All right, I already know I'm gonna have to watch that tonight or tomorrow. All right, hey, you might have to want to start going to the email address or something, bro. Cool. She said, "Oh, we gonna watch this one too." Okay, now I'm pretty. Sharp Spear says the King Dynasty, the King, the Queen is it Queen? The Queen Dynasty. I'm pretty sure my wife probably watched that one. I'm pretty sure. Subtitles, but a good representation of statecraft. We might have to check that one out too. Raymond Skoll said, good movie is The Best of Enemies on Netflix. You watched that one, huh? Best of Enemies. Taraji Henson. Yeah, I already know. Taraji Henson. Yeah, I knew you watched that one. The Best of Enemies. Okay. All right. Yeah. Pope Mitch podcast said, what y'all think the difference is, if there is a difference between James Brown's song, I'm Black and I'm Proud, compared to Jadakiss and Anthony Hamilton's song, Why? Nah, that's no comparison, bro. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I like Jadakiss. And Anthony Hamilton too. You know, I like some of his shit. I don't know, man. For me, it meant more with James Brown because it was at a time when it was going down. You know, now, you know, I mean, the song, it had, you know, damn, how can I express that? It had substance. You know what I mean? And again, man, it was something to people. That's what you heard, man, everywhere all day. I remember that shit, man, when it came, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, man. The afros was rocking, you know what I'm saying? The power puffs on the sisters, man, the bell bottoms, and man, that black fist was always high. I mean, people wasn't taking no hint. Now, Jadakiss, you know, he's talking about what else of what's going on in communities, what we're suffering through, what we're going through, the trauma, you know, the oppression, whatever. But it's not on that level where it's been received by the people, because I think, again, we're in different times. The mindset is different. That's what I think. You know, that's what I think, man. It's not an anthem. You know what I mean? It's not an anthem. James Brown shit was an anthem. It carried the power of the people. The people, you know, carried that song. You know what I mean? That's not this. It's not the same with Jadakiss and Anthony Hamilton's song. I got it on my playlist, actually. You know, Yeah, but I think that's the difference, man. That's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah. Yeah. Why with Jada Kiss, yeah, you know. But James Brown, when he dropped, we was in the it was on and cracking, you know, just came out, a few years previous to Rock's riots and shit. Police brutality was really still jumping, what's going on. It's what, 69, 68, 69? Black power, man. You couldn't tell a black person nothing. You couldn't do nothing to a black person back then, especially police, and it wasn't going down. You know what I mean? Nowadays, brothers watch brothers get brutalized by the police. Sisters too. The police will brutalize a sister in front of brothers. Brothers won't do jack. That song was a song of substance. It was our anthem. It was our anthem, you know. Excuse me. Jada Kiss song, I think, was just something he did. You feeling that, I don't think he didn't push it. He didn't push it, And then not only that, you spoke about all what ails us, how we're being, just ran roughshod over, how we're being oppressed. Yeah, I love the song. I like the song. But again, it's not an anthem. It's not an anthem. I was just thinking, I think I heard another song called "Why." Black people talking about some "Why," whatever. Wasn't nobody pushing that like that, It had no weight behind it. Didn't have the people behind it. I think that's the difference. That's the difference, I think. No, I'm not saying that it's not. But I think the difference is the people supported that song because I think the times were different. That's what I think. All right, but anyway, you go on to say, Pope, Bub, you're a good brother. You stay focused on the focus, and we all know that we have to be better at knowing what leadership and being a leader look like, so that we don't miss the mark. Man, we always learning, man. We always trying. Well, we should be always learning and trying to develop. And that's the thing. Leaders aren't born; they're developed. They're developed, man. Some of them are made, man, in the fire of trials and tribulations, being tested and challenged, man. Sometimes it can be some of the worst thing that bring brothers to the light in terms of, that light going on in our consciousness. That third eye being boom, all of a sudden, boom, it opens, the process, man. Everybody has to go through the process. Some of us make it. Some of us make it just far enough to where we can lace others who become those leaders. That's what I think. Like I said, man, I'm just another warrior, man. I know this. I'm just another warrior, man. And let the right brothers, and not just one, y'all. That's the thing. That's the thing. See, this is how we've been led astray by them people. They'll pick some one person for us. Man, we got all kind of leaders, man, who are warriors. And it's going to take all kinds of our warrior men and women to lead us, man. That's what I think. Straight up, So we are all that. We're the ones, man, who's supposed to nurture and help those mature into being warrior men and women, leaders for our people. That's our job. It's all work, man. Can't nobody else do this for us, man, but us. So I'm just another warrior. I'm doing what I think I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't think I'm doing everything just yet. But wherever our brothers are, them warrior-like men, man, them black men who understand, man, these leaders, man, we need them. We need them. We need to be led, man. And again, it can't be one. It has to be a whole army. It should be an army of black brothers and sisters leading the people. Straight up. Don't leave it to one. You know, for example, you have what you have in Africa. You got these three brothers, man, in the Sahel states, the AES, man, Torre, Goita, and Chabini, I think it is. These three brothers, they all lead. They have certain, but they all one. They lead together, man. And I think, man, in due time, they may get rid of what they call Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And they're gonna, and I think that's the way to go. That's the way to go. More than one lion defending, protecting the pride. In case something happened to one of the lions, you still got two. They're trusted, man. Respect, each other. They trust, love, respect each other. There's no competition, man. There's no envy and jealousy. There's only the cause, man. The purpose. Them brothers are warriors, man. We need them type of black men in our community, pushing the line. And be willing to do whatever, man, to make sure it get pushed correctly. Because it's for the benefit and the betterment of our people. Somebody just said in the comments, man, we don't get together, man, it's a wrap. We are the leaders, man. We are the leaders, man, that's needed, man. We are the ones who's supposed to lead and supposed to go assist and, help develop other young men and women to lead. I said it, man, and I mean it, man. Our game bangers are probably some of our best warriors, some of our best leaders. Our non-affiliates are some of our best warriors and our leaders, man. Take all kinds. It take all kinds, man. So brothers, we just got to make the decision, man. We just got to go. BNBN V7M says, man, them insurance guys were coming for that bread for real. Hey, man, and I'm serious. Every street had a different white dude in a car. Nice car. Little compact, car pulling up, getting out with his folder and his little money bag. I didn't know what that was back then. I was young, That thing got money in it, man. He going in there collecting this money. Almost like, collecting numbers money. My grandpa, numbers guy, you come over too, man, get the money for the tickets, running them numbers. But yeah, man, they was coming to get that bread, man. That's real. And then they start getting jacked. And I swear, they didn't stop them. They were an insurance company. They were insured in case they got jacked. Funny as shit work, man, but that's what it was. Pope Mitchell said, love you, bro. I'm encouraged, man. Love you as well, bro. I'm encouraged as well. It's why we doing what we do, man. I appreciate the people, man. I love my people, man. I watched some shit today. Damn, y'all. Had me in tears. I ain't gonna lie. These young brothers, man, they went Florida. They're being mentored by some more brothers, but they go out into the community and they observe. They look for the right person who seem to be just going through it. You could tell sometimes, like I said, when you observe shit, you learn shit. They go into Walmart, man. They see this sister. She's struggling with her kids. She get in line and it looks as if she barely got enough to pay for whatever. The brothers, though, they all over Walmart doing it. And they walk up on the sister, touch her basket, boom. Hey, I'm going to take care of this for you. Sister breakdown. Just broke down, man. I'm like, God damn, man. But the thing that got me most was these young brothers doing this. All right. They wasn't game banging. They wasn't trying to be thugs and badasses. They were trying to be, defenders, protectors, and providers for the people in the community. It just struck me. It hit hard. And I'm thinking, then where are they? In California? What the hell? Yeah, man. We need to encourage each other, man. We need to work for one to help each other, no doubt, before we help anybody else, man. It's facts, man. Poke Mitchell said, man, once again, man, shout out to the commentator and all the UTG queens. We definitely need y'all to lead. Real stuff. Real stuff. He says, man, Poke says, to my brothers at UTG, I will continue to pray for patience so that our strength and focus is met with the right precision and support. Here, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, putting that in the chat. Queen Nzinga says, man, yes, Abraham Lincoln said something very close to that, famously writing in an 1862 letter to Horace Greeley, my paramount objective in this struggle is to save the Union, and is not either to save or destroy slavery. And adding, if I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. That's it. He said what he said first. It wasn't something that was, this is not a human being saying, hey, man, you know what? This is wrong. This is why I'm doing this. And fuck Abraham Lincoln. Shit. Huh? Okay. What we got here? Mistake being Lil Reed. I'm trying to understand. That's a wordplay. Oh, mistaken. Mistake Kevin Lil Reed. Got you. Good evening, Big Bub. Lil Zo checking in. All love and respect, loved one. I see you, man. How you do? All right. Good to see you, man. Good to see you in this. Get down with us. Yeah. Hopefully everything is everything and you all right and the family is good, man. Ain't seen you in a minute, but good to see you. Just to chop it up. I know where your head at. Oh, thanks. Hey, appreciate that, Roscoe. Dude's name is Jesse Patterson. He got this website, this channel. Go Raccoon, man. Go Raccoon. I'm not even gonna say y'all go check him out. Please don't. Don't give him give him that. Just take our word for it. Dude ain't worth jack, man. Dude ain't worth jack. Appreciate that though, Roscoe. Stark Spirit said, man, Forced into Glory by Bennett. Abe said that and more. Forced into Glory by Bennett. Abe said that and more. Actually, there's better quotes we should be up on that shows us the power we don't acknowledge. And again, that's so someone's asking Sharp Spirit, what is the quote? He said, actually, there are better quotes, than the one, that you read and the one I was talking about. But where are they? I get you. But anyway, in that respect, as far as he go, he looked like homosexual to me, but hey, man, that dude told some bold face where the history is lying, period, point blank. Like I said, man, if it wasn't for us, but them Confederate, them crackers down there they would have toe hole in their brothers up north. That's what they would have done. If it wasn't for us. Wasn't because of no Stonewall Jackson strategy, no Grant and all them. They were good strategic, strategists and war. Man, the black man came and saved their ass. Just like I said, in every other war, they started with each other. American Revolution, on up. Civil War, World War One, and other wars, World War Two, Korea, Vietnam. Probably got some heroic shit. But again, then the world wars, all these other wars, man, been against people of color. And they've all, here we are having to help these people, man, fight other people of color over some super shit they did or they're doing, you know. And he's proud to say that a lot of brothers wasn't having that shit. Like, man, I ain't going to kill nobody for y'all, man. They was talking about some stuff the other day about a draft. Trump talking about drafting 18 to 25-year-olds. Well, when you turn 18 anyway, you have to register for the draft anyway. But imagine Trump saying, and he's saying it to those who are criminal, been arrested, juvenile halls in prison. Imagine them trying to come get, for whatever war they probably trying to get ready to start, getting young brothers to go and fight for these. Man, you got to be crazy. And the comments were even dumber. A lot of brothers in the comments, oh yeah, man, that'd be a good thing. Get all these dudes off the street now, man. Man, our people not fodder. This is what we trying to tell them. They're not fodder. It's not okay to be in the streets killing each other, but it's okay for them to go and kill somebody else for somebody else. The same shit. Shit ain't cool, period. It ain't cool, period. But whatever the conversation was, I think it was mistaken. It was false. Trump, enacting the draft. But man, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters was up in there now. Yeah, get rid of all of them. Yeah, send them on over there. And da, 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 da. Man, it's just not how we should deal with that. No, don't throw them away. The chances are a lot of them go over there, man. Yeah, a lot of them won't come back. A lot of them will do good and come back. You know what I mean? But ain't got no business fighting for them, man. Period. Period. Don't owe this country nothing. Don't owe this country jack. Polk saying that you're talking about the song Why. It's the message in the songs, just wanting to hear opinions. Yeah, James Brown, man, yeah, that was a cold one though. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. All right. Yeah, appreciate that again, Raymond. Raymond Scogos say I was referring to Lil Wayne earlier when I said that rich blacks were saying there's no race problem. Yeah, I caught that though. We were on that one. And C1 said I'm back with food. You been calling this up? That was a big bowl, girl. That was a big bowl. You putting in work on that bowl. You say I'm back with food. Don't laugh. But I'm over here eating. I'm over here eating cream cheese and crackers. Sure, that's something we be snacking on from time to time. That Philly cream cheese, little crackers and shit. Watching a little TV, some grapes and shit. She wants to say I want some. Okay, it's so good. But I cover each piece in Tajin, Tajin, tahim, excuse me. That's it's a seasoning, right? I put that on the pineapples sometime, and yeah, it's pretty good. Actually, that go good with anything almost. Okay, y'all talking to each other. It's Mr. KL Reed. Okay, gotcha. Mr. Kevin, well, KL, but I see it, Mr. Kevin. I'm like, mistake? No, that's what goes looking like that. It's Mr. KL Reed. Much love, respect to you and the missus, man. Appreciate that. Over being laughed at right now. That should do me. C1 said it's going to be my new weapon, eating cream cheese crackers. Staring them, what you say, staring them down? Staring them down. Okay. Sharp Spear says, check out what Abraham Lincoln said why he wouldn't send us to Africa. Oh, I like to hear that. You said put that in there, Sharp Spear. Yeah, please put that in there right quick. Check out what Abraham Lincoln said why he wouldn't send us to Africa. Oh man. James Cash said they claim so many whites are heroes, but we know who the real is, or we know what the real is and who the real heroes are. No doubt about that, bro. No doubt about that. Okay, man. I just, oh, there was something else I saw on YouTube. I swear this shit had me just like, man, they had these little school kids. I don't know if anyone else has seen this. It was on TikTok. They all, they got their little school uniforms on, and they're dancing to Gap Band early in the morning. Hey man, them mugs is grooving, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That shit put a smile on my face just seeing that. I wish I can send that, man. Did I send that to you? Yeah. You ain't been reading my texts, cunt. I did. I think I sent it to you though. Yeah, Trump the megalomaniac. Oh yeah, we finna go in on Trump. Oh, that's it right there, lies. Anyway, yeah, one of the best things I saw, man, other than the brothers looking out for the people. But it had me smiling, man. It had me smiling. Watch our brothers and sisters getting down, man. There's something about the youth, man. I'm telling you, we gotta love them, man. We gotta support them, take care of them. All right. So on that note, man, I gotta cut out. I have work to do actually. All Things Politics must have its debut no later than tomorrow at 6. We're gonna go in, man, and then we're gonna keep that thing up and running. Also, man, just so you guys know, I'm gonna start doing more lives as well as more episodes on the groove. I'm gonna, change it up a little bit and bring in a lot of different guests. And we're gonna do what we do here, man. We're gonna talk about our people, being positive, trying to figure out a way to get ourselves out of this rut. We got to figure out a way to do the work, man. It's on us to do the work. Can't be on anybody else. That being said, man, I love the people, man. I am part of the people. Love yourself so that you can love one another, all right? The man in the mirror. Take care of yourselves, man. Take care of each other. Let's continue, man, to grow. All right? We're waking up now. Let's stand on 10 toes and get this thing done. Peace and blessings, everybody. Power is in the people. Black power is in the people. Melanated people. Stand tall. Let's stand tall through it all. Let's get it done. You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove. Love you, C1. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Power is in the people. One love.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurst, and writing future history. From the Apollo to the borough to the sphere. Where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transform suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow pause, and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. That's in the sergeant. This is once a less than Panthers, hats, and Mercedes. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive, watch the applause for pose. Need your data, talks and consulate any problem when the wet just wanna build the season bait. Now don't get the pause. It's just the raising up the cons. Plead the markets off the main. Make it honor fans. Turn the neck and love the durn. Suffers like a kesha. You were wrong to preaching up. I'm sorry, see chillun, but on the shit and untrue seeing vets. Someone the very it's on Gary Land. Be hell heaven, you see what the bonafide. If wait, something for the marker, make the key to pull the club and saw the bloods to the singer. Land is carried open, slowly keep us looking on my mother. Break it, generous, he for the he and let the peasant be. It's every time we keep a spawn.